Have you ever wondered what happened immediately after Jesus took his final breath on the cross? The events that followed were nothing short of extraordinary. Signs and wonders that shook the very foundation of the world. Darkness fell, the earth quaked, and even the dead were raised. These were not just random occurrences. They were divine signals, marking the most significant moment in human history. In this video, we'll dive into 5 incredible occurrences that took place right after Jesus' death, events so powerful that they left witnesses in awe and continue to inspire believers to this day. Stay with us as we uncover these divine mysteries. The earthquake nature itself reacted to the death of Jesus. The Bible tells us that the ground trembled and rocks shattered. This was more than a natural disaster. It was a profound response from creation to the death of the Son of God. Matthew specifically notes that the earth quaked, emphasizing the magnitude of this moment. This seismic event was not random. It symbolized a divine reaction to the crucifixion of Christ. The tombs open. Matthew records an extraordinary event not mentioned in the other Gospels. The tombs of many righteous individuals were opened. Those who had passed away were resurrected and later entered Jerusalem, appearing to many. Matthew 27 verses 52 to 53 describes this miraculous moment, showing that the power of Jesus' sacrifice extended beyond his own resurrection. Given the seismic activity in the region, an earthquake opening tombs wouldn't be unusual, but the resurrection of the dead was clearly an act of God. This foreshadowed Jesus' own resurrection and reinforces victory over death. The individuals raised from the dead are believed to be saints from Israel's history, bearing witness to the transformative power of Christ's sacrifice. Paul later expands on this idea in 1 Corinthians 15 verses 20 to 23, stating that Jesus was the first fruits of those who had died, meaning his resurrection paved the way for all believers to experience eternal life. These resurrected saints serve as a preview of the promise given to all who follow Christ. The temple veil was torn. Matthew 27:50-51 describes another significant event. At the moment Jesus gave up his spirit, the veil in the temple was torn in two from top to bottom. This curtain separated the Holy of Holies, the most sacred place in the temple, from the rest of the structure. Its tearing was a powerful symbol. The separation between God and humanity had been removed through Jesus' sacrifice. Hebrews 9 verses 1 to 9 explains that the veil was a constant reminder of human unworthiness to enter God's presence. However, Jesus, as the ultimate high priest, made a way for believers to come before God freely. Hebrews 10 verses 19 to 20 reinforces this, stating that through his sacrifice, Jesus opened a new and living way to approach God. Just as Jesus' body was torn for humanity, so too was the barrier that kept people from direct communion with God. Darkness covered the land. Matthew 27:45 tells us that from noon until 3 in the afternoon, darkness enveloped the entire land. This was not an ordinary eclipse, as it happened at a time when the moon was full and could not block the sun. Instead, this darkness was a supernatural event, fulfilling the prophecy in Amos 8 verse 9, which foretold that the sun would go dark at midday. Darkness in ancient times was often associated with mourning and divine judgment. The unnatural darkness during Jesus' crucifixion was a powerful sign that something monumental was taking place. This event signified the weight of sin being placed upon Jesus and the grief of creation at the death of its creator. A Roman centurion recognized Jesus' innocence. The Roman centurion in charge of Jesus' execution had likely witnessed many crucifixions. He was a hardened soldier, accustomed to death and suffering. Yet, what he saw that day was unlike anything before. The earthquake, the darkness, and the way Jesus conducted himself deeply affected him. In Matthew 27 verse 54, he and the soldiers with him were overcome with fear and declared, "Truly, this was the Son of God." This was a man trained to be ruthless, who had likely carried out many executions without a second thought. However, witnessing the supernatural events surrounding Jesus' death led him to recognize the truth. His words were not spoken out of fear alone, but out of conviction. The realization that he had participated in the execution of an innocent man, and not just any man, but the Son of God, must have shaken him to his core. Some traditions suggest that the centurion, named Longinus, later became a follower of Christ and was martyred for his faith. While this is not confirmed, it highlights the transformative power of encountering Jesus. Even in his death, he moved hearts and changed lives. The events following Jesus' death were not random occurrences. Each one served as a powerful testimony to the significance of his sacrifice. The earth quaked, the dead were raised, the temple veil was torn, darkness covered the land, and even a hardened Roman soldier recognized his divinity. These were not mere coincidences, but divine signs that confirmed the truth of the gospel. Jesus' sacrifice was not just an event in history. It was a turning point for humanity. Through his death and resurrection, he made a way for us to have eternal life. Now, the question is, how will you respond to his sacrifice? If you found this content valuable, please consider subscribing so you don't miss any future videos. Together, we can continue to explore and understand the profound truths of faith. Thank you for watching, and may God bless you.